Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, hey, hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pass last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With the laugh and the cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll raise a roll, from sideline jokes to post-match tales, all big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Ahoy, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.
Wasted world of sports, huh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
Wasted World of Sports, ahoy. How's everybody doing here this Super Saturday? Welcome along. We are ready for a great match here. The Canberra Raiders versus the Canterbury Bulldogs. Will it be as good as it's cracked up to be? Well, we'll find out very shortly. But before all that, I want to go ahead and leap on in and give you a little bit of a hot tip. You can decide to do with this what you will, but here it is. Both of these teams have been conceding at over 50% down their right edge defensive channel. So, I couldn't help but notice this little doozy. Player A, B, or C to combine for 3+ tries. Just given the nature of both teams, over 50% on their right edges tries conceded is quite large, really. All things considering, when you've got three options, left, right, and up the middle, of course, when you've got three choices for both teams to be over 50% is quite large. So look for the left side attack to have a field day today. That's why we've gone for that left edge across both teams combining for 3+ tries. Marcelo Montoya, Sebastian Chris, and Stephen Crichton. And you could also throw in there, if you really wanted to, you're not feeling comfortable with Savage, say, or Sebastian Chris, rather. You might want to replace him with Xavier Savage. Maybe Stephen Crichton isn't the one that gets your fancy. Maybe you're more thinking Sebastian Chris and Xavier Savage. Either way, either or, go for it. Just keep that left edge in mind when placing a bet today. Both teams conceding at over 50% on their right-hand edges. So that's my hot pick for this game. On top of that, I've also stacked up the same game multi, my wild SGM. is very wild and running rampant with left edge attackers. Stephen Crichton, Xavier Savage, Sebastian Chris, and Marcelo Montoya. There they are. Basically, 3 of the 4 that I selected in that hot pick. I've doubled down, and I've got them in my same game multi. No protection here. Bollocks on the chopping block. We've gone all or nothing. And, of course, Canterbury straight up. The Bulldogs outright. A $2 something last time I checked. Let's see if they've come in at all before this game gets underway. See if they've drifted in at all. They haven't. The Bulldogs are still at 221. See, me personally, I'm not yet convinced about this Canberra Raiders team. Not to suggest that they're not doing well. They clearly are. But they've also, let's be honest, they've been a little bit lucky as well. I mean, how many games have they won at the death? Now, credit where credit's due. You have to be in it to win it. And they're a very fit and very tenacious team. But you can't rely on kicks on the last play and the ball bouncing your way 100% of the time. Eventually, that luck is going to run out, or a team is going to put it together and they're absolutely going to smash it. So their luck will run out at some time. You can't build a competition. You can't build a premiership winning unit off of luck. And at the moment, they're riding it every step of the way. And I suspect that will come to an end very, very soon. I suspect it will come to an end today. I know that the Bulldogs, they've obviously got a few players out. I mean, their number 15 is starting in the forward pack, but they've still got a solid team. Jamin Salmon, Viliami Kikau, Saluka Fafita, Reed Marnie, Max King. That is still a solid forward pack. They've still got Kurt Mann and Curtis Morin on the interchange. Okay, they're going to miss Preston and they're going to miss Josh Curran. Those are huge outs. But it's not like they've got a bunch of schlubs in the forward pack around them that won't be able to step up. Honestly, I think the $2.20 outsiders for this game is craziness. But as I always say, I always love it when the bookies give away money. And if they want to give away their money with putting $2.20 on the Bulldogs, I'll happily take it. I don't know about anybody else. I'll happily take it off their hands. Mookie, ahoy, mate. How are you going? And Christopher Dixon, ahoy there. Welcome along. Bright and early on a Saturday afternoon. Well, this is bright and early for me. But then I don't live a normal life. I'm sure a lot of people have probably been up from, 6 a.m., 10 a.m.? Not me. I got up about an hour ago. Such is the nature of the life that I live. All ready for some footy. A triple header today, of course, Super Saturday. Starting off with this one, Raiders versus the Bulldogs. And then we've got the Dragons versus the Warriors. Jim Condon, ahoy, mate. The first of our channel member arrivals. And look at that. I even remembered today to pop up the channel member chat on the screen. One of the small perks of membership, of course, is that you get your chats displayed on the screen. Over there on YouTube, that is. We have nothing similar on the other platforms. Wasted World of Sports, of course, live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch, and live on Facebook, ready to bring you all the action. Matty Colkin, ahoy, mate. I did seriously consider doing the Chiefs Crusaders game today. But in all honesty, once I start on Rugby League, it's so much easier in terms of stream setup, and it's so much easier just to carry on with Rugby League. So as much as I really, really want to check out that Crusaders-Chiefs game, as much as I would have loved to have streamed it, it's just easier to stick with the NRL once the NRL's already on. So I'll have to work on a better system for getting that done, especially because Super Rugby is coming into the business end of the season, and I guarantee you I will be doing the finals series of Super Rugby. Guaranteed. I don't care what NRL game is on, Rugby Union finals will out-qualify just a standard Rugby League game. Matty Colkin, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Cheers, brother. I will drink to that. C-Muck, ahoy mates. Yes, indeed. I've also got a hot pick for everyone. A hot pick, which I'll bring up on the screen here. Both of these teams, both Canberra and the Bulldogs, both of them are conceding over 50% of their tries on their right-hand edge. Brings into play the left edge attacks. There's a special combo available on Sportsbet. Player A, B, or C to combine for 3+ tries. Load up on those left edges. Both teams conceding over 50% of tries down their right edge. So I've gone with Marcelo Montoya, Stephen Crichton, and Sebastian Chris. You could also throw Xavier Savage in there if you wanted to replace. Maybe you feel like the Raiders are going to win. Xavier Savage instead of Stephen Crichton. Xavier Savage instead of Sebastian Chris. Maybe you want to load up on Bulldogs. And you could consider throwing Viliami Kikau in there, perhaps. You could go Kikau, Montoya, and Crichton to combine for 3+ tries. But anyways, that's my hot pick. Player A, B, or C to score 3+ tries. Those are the three that I've chosen. You could choose any three. My recommendation is just stick with the left edge attack. And you should be laughing here today. 50% of tries for both teams. Over 50% for both teams. Tries conceded down their right-hand edge. I mean, that's pretty massive. But then, as I always say, if I've noticed that, some schlub on YouTube has noticed that, you can only imagine what the respective coaches have uncovered, and I'm sure that they've taken steps to fix it up. So don't be surprised at all if by the time I see something, it's already been fixed. And watch all the tries now go on the opposite edge. Almost guaranteed. C-Muck asks, does the Fox still play for the Doggies? And Susanna has answered quite correctly, no, he does not. He plays for the Eels now. Lee Bowden, ahoy mate. Lee Bowden says, what about the women's rugby union game on today? All rugby league today. We've got a triple header starting with this one. Raiders versus Bulldogs. And then we'll be jumping over to the Warriors versus the Dragons. And finishing off the night with the Cowboys versus the Penrith Panthers. Michael Jellicoe, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. Kickoff moments away. It is the Bulldogs who will be kicking the ball off. Referee blows his whistle, and we're off and running. Raiders versus Bulldogs. It's a deep kickoff. Savage takes it in the end goal and hands it off for Tapani for the first hit up. Aggressive defense from the Bulldogs to start this game, keeping the Raiders pinned down on their own 10-meter line. Smithies carries it now, just shy of the 20. Listen to the crowd, the home crowd, intensely into this game. Tapani with his second carry. Wolfie, ahoy. You've gone for the Raiders. Tough game to tip. Weeks is held up. A 3-man tackle. The Bulldogs. Lots of aggression early. 5th and last. Fogarty forced to kick from his own 30. As always, he gets good purchase on it, but it's down the throat of Connor Tracy. Tracy takes it on the full and returns fire. Steph, ahoy there. Steph reckons an interesting game this will be. I'm still not convinced, honestly. I'm still not convinced. I think that the Raiders have been very lucky, and I think their luck runs out today. I think the Bulldogs win quite comfortably. But I've been wrong about the Raiders for about the past 3 years, so take that with a grain of salt. A huge grain of salt. Down the short side and 40 meters out now, Maxi King will play it. 5th and last, staying on the short side for Burton. It's not a Burton special, but it's still a high ball, and he's overcooked it. KO Sports Weeks takes it in the end goal, and it's a 7-tackle set and an early mistake from the Bulldogs. Not cool, not cool. Not good at all, doggies. As the Raiders now look to exit territory, the home crowd is going ballistic, honestly. I don't think I've ever heard a more supportive crowd, just vocally, than what I'm hearing here. As second phase play now, beware the offload. Starling steals some extra meters. And the Bulldogs, they've got to be cautious of that. Tarpany onto Fogarty. Out the back for Weeks and straightening is Timoko. He's brought down by Kickout. They've given away 6 again. Oh, that is demoralizing for the Bulldogs. Late in the tackle count and an early test. Here come the Raiders. 10 meters out from the line, a full set of 6. Tarpany goes straight up the guts. They're a meter short. Starling fires it out to the right. Fogarty pops the pass off the hip. The Bulldogs' defense solid out on that left edge. Like I said, the right edge is the way to go. The crash ball. And Zach Hosking, the former Panther premiership winner. Zach Hosking has scored the first try. A dream start for the Raiders. Catching the Bulldogs napping, and it was all off the 7-tackle set. Matt Burton getting the kick wrong. He overcooked it. Gave away the 7 tackles. And a set restart in amongst that. And the Raiders have gone the length of the field across about 8 tackles to come up with the first try of the game. And right beside the posts as well. Stan, 3033. Ahoy there over on the TikTok. What a start this is for the Raiders. Very early on. I'll tell you what as well. First try inside the 5th minute. That would have been paying a pretty penny as well. 100% luck, DJ Shaq. 100% of the time luck. How are you, DJ Shaq? I'm very disappointed that I won't be able to catch the Chiefs Crusaders game today. As Fogarty swings this one off to the left. Oh, he's put it through. Okay. I thought it missed to the left. It's gone through. 6 points to 0. Mookie, you chucked him in your multi last minute. I obviously decided to go all backs based on what I saw with the stats. Had I gone for a forward, though, I guarantee you it wouldn't have been Hosking. It probably would have been Nicholson or Hudson Young had I decided to go for a forward. Emmanuel Vincent, ahoy, mate. Bring on the channel members. I love it. I'm going to change the icon, by the way. I think we need something different. The Wasted World of Sports badge. People don't seem to know what it is. And a penalty now to the Raiders. No. Told to go back and play it on the spot. Bojam, ahoy, mate. So, channel members, if you've got any suggestion as to what I should have as the channel member badge, I mean, you guys are the channel members. You're the ones that wear it, right? So, I'm open to suggestions. It's the Wasted Water Sports logo at the moment in badge form. But people seem to think it's the West Tigers logo. Anyway, Bulldogs back in possession as the Raiders complete their set of 6 after points. They're 30 meters out from their own line. My face as the badge. Don't know about that. Down the short side goes Matty Burton. And that's been battered down by Hoskin. That'll be 6 more tackles for the Bulldogs. Oh, no call from the referee. Burton down the short side, puts the kick high. That should have been 6 again for the Bulldogs. Let's see if that will have any sort of effect. The Raiders have got another call there. That's another call going the Raiders' way. Clearly touched out by Hosking. Jaden Morris, ahoy, mate. Zach Hoskin, the first try scorer, only try scorer of the match so far. As the Raiders now up over halfway, playing the game with too much pace at the moment. And the thing we know about the Raiders is they're fit. They'll be able to keep this up for the full 80. Fogarty puts the kick high. Contestable ball, but Marcelo Montoya does extremely well running forward. Mookie's got a same-game multi of Hoskin, Marnie, Fogarty, and Crichton. Fogarty's an intriguing one. As the Bulldogs starting to... and they've come up with a mistake now, a dropped ball. The Bulldogs, I was just about to say, they've started to push passes. And this is that sort of brainless play that we saw against the Broncos a couple of weeks back. And we all know what happened in that game. Harp fit, ahoy, mate. The Raiders about to go on the attack again. Dare I bring up the referee missing a blatant 6 again on the halfway line? It should have been the Bulldogs on the attack. 40 meters out from the line. Here come the Raiders. Timoko down the right edge. Reese is asking how much KO is. I believe it's in the region of $35 a month. Nine minutes gone. It's been all Canberra to start this game. The Uso, ahoy, mate. Loose pass out the back. It's been scooped up by Tamale. Heads across field. Fends off one. Fends off a second, Tamale. But he's wrapped up and eaten alive by Kickow. Raiders up the middle. Starling goes to Hoskin. Hoskin with the offload. Second phase is killing them at the moment. The kick through. And now the pace from Sebastian Chris. And Montoya, or Carraz it is, sorry, has to bat the ball dead. It's a result for the Raiders. Goal line dropout incoming. The speed of the Raiders backline utilized to perfection on that occasion. Long dropout from Burton. It's been collected inside their own side of halfway, the Raiders. But charging back into it is Morgan Smithies. And is tackled 40 meters out from the Bulldogs line. 68% possession to the Raiders. The Bulldogs just have to survive this early onslaught. Gamer Mel, ahoy. And Kickow puts on a big hit there. And that stalls any sort of momentum that the Raiders may have had. As they come back to the left, inside ball for Hudson Young. Tackle 4. They go right. Fogarty shows it inside once. Gives to Hoskin. Hoskin almost breaks through a second time. 5th and last. 10 meters out. 6 again on the 5th and last. Well, that's criminal. That is a coach killer. It was the last tackle, and they've given away a 6 again. The Raiders piling on the pressure here. Starling sends it out for Fogarty. The inside ball. And Matty Nicholson's wrapped up just a couple of meters out. They're flying here, the Raiders. Tapani. Loose pass out the back, and it's been spilt. It's been picked up by Starling. 6 more tackles, and Starling scores. Tom Starling reaches out and plants it down under the post. More us than class. Talk about a dropped ball out the back. It wasn't even an offload. It was a spilt ball. It ends up in the hands of the Raiders. And an opportunistic try at best. It'll be a knock-on at worst. Tarpany will have a look as that ball goes back. How did it end up so far forward? Ah, must have come off the foot. Innocent anglerfish, ahoy. Wow. The luckiest team in the competition just keep getting luck go their way. But you've got to be good enough to take it. When luck falls your way, you still have to be good enough to take advantage of it. And they're doing that at the moment. 10 points to 0, kick to come from right in front. KCT says, Bulldogs can't beat a top team. Not a good look. Wait a minute, this try's not been confirmed. Try's not been confirmed yet. And it's going to get looked at. We're having a closer look. Well, I did ask the question as to how the ball ended up so far forward. I did ask the question, how has it ended up so far forward? Tom Starling has been held. Tom Starling's been held. It's going to be a penalty. Or is it going to go back and play the ball? No try. And Raiders have to play the ball, I guess. Starling will play the ball. They had just gotten 6 again. Tackle 1 for Starling. They come all the way back. Oh, who had Tom Starling in their multis? Anyway, they've still got a full set of 6 here, the Raiders. Morgan Smithies just settles play here to the right of the post. Oh, sorry. I've still got my hot take over the top of the screen on TikTok. My bad. My hot pick. There we go. My bad. 6 again for the Raiders. Once more. Tarpany is at Fogarty. 5 meters out. This is Tarpany now. Dancing around to the right of the post. That's play number 4. Fogarty onto Young. Young has the arm free. Another offload. They are destroying the Bulldogs here with the offloads. 5th and last. 15 out in midfield. They go left for Young. Puts the grubber kick in. Hudson Young. And they watch it go over the dead ball line for a 7-tackle set. The Bulldogs have repelled that attack. Player 420, the try scorer was Zach Hosking. And a penalty's gone to the Bulldogs for pushing the defender there as well. So they get to clear into touch. But look at this aggressive defense of the Raiders. Surely a lifting tackle there. And it is another penalty back to back. And they've just got to watch themselves here. The Raiders. The aggression is starting to get a little bit over the top. You can get over-enthusiastic, over-aggressive. And the Raiders are just crossing that line at the moment. G. Hannah, ahoy there. Whose try was disallowed? Tom Starling for the Canberra Raiders was disallowed. As the Bulldogs now find touch 40 meters out from their own line. They've held the Raiders at bay. Now they can go on the attackers on their own. 40 meters out from the Raiders line. Kurt Mann's on the field. They go left for Kickow. Kickow backs into the defense and is taken 35 meters out from the line over on that far side. Max King up the middle. Mann out the back it goes for Sexton. The double pump and spills the ball. Toby Sexton. And now the Raiders can counterattack. Sebastian Chris looks to fend his way through, but he's wrapped up. 0 tackle. And the Bulldogs, they finally get an opportunity down that end of the field, and they cock it up. Oh, no! Xavier Savage spills the ball. 1 out from the ruck. What a goof.
Gosh.
He was thinking 1 step ahead. He forgot to catch the ball. And the Bulldogs, they have to take advantage of this. Even if it's 2 points from a penalty goal, they've got to take advantage of this and get themselves on the board. Just keep themselves in this game. 26 minutes left in the first half. It feels like it's been going a lot longer than 14 minutes, right? They attack the left edge. Connor Tracy steps back in field. And that is play 1. 30 meters out. Bronson Sherry. He takes the line on. 20 out from the line. Play 2. They're still on the left edge. Now they come back into midfield. Maxi King tries to burrow his way underneath. That's play 3. Sexton with the inside ball to Salmon M. And Jamin Salmon's tackle. 10 out just to the right of the post. 2 left. Man out the back to Sexton. Burton, the short ball, and Bronson Sherry steaming onto it. Can't get through. Sexton with the crossfield kick. Stephen Crichton's up there. Wins the battle to the ball. Marnie bats it back. Connor Tracy spills it. Taps it back for Carraz. And the referee blows his whistle to call a knock on against the Bulldogs. Well, where he's got a knock on from, I don't know, but he's found a knock on in there somewhere. And I've got to say, Adam G is having an absolute stinker with the whistle. Referee Adam G, just think 2 years ago, he was in control of the grand final, universally praised for his effort in that grand final. One of the best refereed grand finals of all time, 2023, they said. As a penalty now to the Raiders. The Bulldogs offside. And here we are 2 years later, and Adam G is the utter shits. Awful he is. Jados, ahoy mate. Penalty to the Raiders. Bulldogs offside. 6 points to 0 it is, and that is a deep kick. Finding touch over halfway. Jamal Fogarty. 67% possession in favour of the home side, the Raiders. Crazy stuff. The fact that with 67% possession, the score is only 6-0. I mean, that's pure insanity. It might not be 6-0 for very long. 30 metres out from the line and still half a set left. The Raiders will indeed get the next opportunity. Here they go, to the right. Fogarty. To Weeks. Weeks puts the afterburners on and goes for the corner. KO Weeks has just stood them up from a standing start. KO Sports Weeks ghosts his way through. From a flat-footed start, he has just turned it on, hits the nitrous button, and off he goes. Half a gap is all it took, and just too much pace. Didn't I tell you as well, because of all my pre-game analysis, I did say, if I've picked it up, you can only imagine what the actual respective coaches have picked up. So don't be surprised if the complete opposite of all my analysis actually happens, And here we go. The Raiders have scored 2 tries now on the opposite edge of the field. But it's like I said, if I've picked up on it, just imagine what Ricky Stuart's picked up on and Cameron Ciraldo's picked up on when it's their actual job to detect this stuff. So undoubtedly, they had detected it long ago and it's been fixed up. Conversion attempt from Jamal Fogarty. About 5 in from touch on the right-hand edge. It looks like KO Weeks is a blue. Somebody asked that question. Fogarty hooks this conversion horribly off to the left. And it remains 10 points to 0. Dave, 74 AU. Ahoy, mate. Doing very well, thank you, mate. The Captain Morgan's is flowing. The footy's on. Going to be a good day. We've got 3 games today. Super Saturday. Raiders, Bulldogs. Dragons, Warriors. Cowboys, Panthers. $10 points to 0. Almost a quarter of the way through this one. $10 meters out from their own line. The Raiders. Slow play the ball. It was slow because my KO Sports was buffering. Hosking with a loose carry. Manages to hold on. Weeks at 18th man. Wouldn't be too bad. 18th man will be Matt Burton. Or, failing that, Ryan Pappenhausen. KO Weeks has still got a long list of players to leapfrog before we even think about representative duty. As Fogarty puts this kick in. Tracy takes it a meter out from his own try line. Perfectly placed kick from Jamal Fogarty. That is, of course, if he is a blue. He could be a Queenslander for all we know. I think that's what the case may be. I know that there was talk about Braden Trindle early on for representative duty, but he's a Queenslander. Bulldogs off the back of a penalty. Finding touch. Bojam says Appy deserves to be there as well. Definitely over Robson. 110%. 110%. If Appy Coruscant is not called back into the squad for Origin, then I just have no idea. Laurie Daly has no idea what he's doing. Which, I'm very concerned, is indeed the case, right? Laurie Daly will probably stack the team full of fullbacks as the Bulldogs go left for Sherry. The pass to Montoya, who wasn't expecting it, and it's lost into touch. And the Bulldogs just can't get any attack together. They get down this end of the field and come up with a mistake. The pass was too heavy there from Sherry. Fired it like a bullet into the chest of Montoya there. And very little positive was going to come out of that. Bulletproof Vita says no Moses. The problem for Mitch Moses is Nathan Cleary, if he's fit, walks into the representative team. And he's not a 6. So That's the problem for Mitch Moses. His representative career, unfortunately for him, will rely on injuries to Nathan Cleary. It's pretty much going to be, considering how young Cleary is comparatively to Moses, although they're probably around the same age, but yes, I think Mitchell Moses' representative caps will be 100% reliant on Nathan Cleary's fitness. It sucks, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. If we've got any tennis fans in the chat, as the Raiders run it on the 5th and last here, using their pace again, and straight through goes Timoko, feeds the ball to Savage, and Xavier Savage scores. They have caught them napping on the right-hand edge, running the ball on the 5th and last, and with the pace that the Raiders have got out wide, any sort of gap, and they're going to go slicing straight through. Xavier Savage scores to give me a tick off the multi. My first tick off the multi, and the Raiders running it on the 5th and last. Try confirmed. And the Raiders are just outpacing the Bulldogs. That's the story of the first half. Outpacing them. Dave74 AU says, no Nico this origin. Hell no. I love my Sharks, but honestly, Nico Hines would be the first player, the first name written down in the no chance pile. Bulletproof Vita, do the Bulldogs have injury? Not injuries, but half their forward pack are currently out through suspension. No Preston, no Curran. Those have been the two players that have been given the Bulldogs forward pack the aggression all year. As Jamal Fogarty lines up another shot at conversion. Corrects himself this time and puts it down the middle. 16 points to 0. 16 minutes left to play in the first half. Running the ball on the 5th and last. And too much pace. That's all that was. Too much pace. Bulldogs with the restart. Savage takes it on the in goal. Brings it out to the 10. Dave74AU asks, do I think he, still talking about Nico Hines here, do you think he can or could make himself origin material? How old is he? Nico Hines, age 28. No, he's done. Usually a halfback, and this is the crazy thing about Nathan Cleary, right? Usually a halfback reaches the peak of their powers at around 26, 27 years of age. So the fact that Hines is 28, this is as good as he's going to get, as this ball's been touched by the Bulldogs, and over the sideline it goes, and the Raiders will get the ball back here. Montoya looks absolutely perplexed, but it has indeed brushed his arm. It's brushed his arm and into touch, and another little piece of luck for the Canberra Raiders. Well, the luck has got to run out at some point. This run of luck has to end at some point. Here they come again, looking for more points before the break. Still 14 minutes to go until the break. Out the back it goes for Strange. 5 meters out, and he's lost the ball. But they get a penalty. An illegal strip of the ball. And they'll get another full set of 6 here on the back of that penalty. Hudson Young backs into the defense. 5 meters out. Strange at dummy half to Fogarty in midfield. Hands it off. 5 meters from the line. Starling pops it up for Tarpany. Tarpany goes close. A couple of meters out. Starling now fires it out to the left. Fogarty wrapped up by Seminam. 10 meters out, right in front of the posts. A couple of tackles left. Strange with the pop pass. And almost through goes Hudson Young. 5th and last, half a meter out. They stay on the short side. Ethan Strange caught with the ball, and that will be a handover. Well, that's probably their worst 5th tackle option there, the Raiders. Ricky Stewart's not happy. Ricky is not happy. It was a pretty weak last tackle option. Dave74AU asks if KO is just a stream and no commentary. No, they've got their own commentators, Dave. They've got their own commentary team. And the Raiders have come up, the Bulldogs, have come up with another mistake. Do they want a captain's challenge? This they do. Oh, and that's just a loose carry by the looks of it. It looks like he's bobbled the ball onto the back of the Raiders player. And that was looking at it at normal pace. Imagine what slow-mo is going to look like. Well, the ball never actually leaves his hands. The ball never actually leaves his arms. And this is a successful challenge for the Bulldogs. Much needed one. I was watching the screen while I was filling my drink and epic overflowage. A successful challenge there for the Doggies. 5th and last, though, Burton needs a big kick here, and he thumps it upfield. The ball sits up for Weeks at the back. "12 minutes left to play." Oh, and slipping into contact there. Onto the field comes Mariota. Mariota Hotels. 16 points to 0. The Raiders in the lead. Sebastian Chris on a good run over halfway. 2 tackles left. Papali'i looks to offload, but he's wrapped up. 5th and last. 30 meters out. Down the short side, Fogarty puts it high into the corner. Contestable ball. Pressure on Montoya. Montoya spills it backwards, and Connor Tracy comes away with it. Bulldogs ball, but they're trapped inside their own 10. They've had to do so much defense. 68% possession. Carraz heads across field. He's wrapped up and driven backwards. They play it 10 meters out from their own line, still on tackle 3. Harry Hayes with a good carry. That's better stuff. 20 meters out from their own line on play 4. Getting absolutely no yardage here. 5th and last. Down the short side for Burton. Sends it deep. That's a hell of a kick. And the chase is up on Weeks, who takes it on the full. Weeks is met 35 meters out from their own line. Just short of halfway here. Savage charges into contact. Even the Canberra wingers are making more meters at the moment than the Bulldogs forwards. It's crazy. 10 minutes to go till the halftime break. They've just got to get themselves to halftime with no more damage done here, the Bulldogs. Fifth and last. But there's a whistle. Harry Hayes is in big trouble here. The whistle is just time off. Harry Hayes will be leaving the field for a HIA. And the Bulldogs, they've already got half their forward pack out through suspension. Now they're about to lose one for a HIA. Harry Hayes has just copped the shoulder from Marriott Hotels. And he has clearly come off second best in that exchange, as you would expect. And off he goes straight away. I don't think he'll be back. I don't think he will be back. So the Bulldogs down by 16. They're now going to be down a player on the bench. And the Raiders' run of luck continues. They've now got an even further undermanned Raiders Bulldogs team. As Stephen Crichton comes away with the ball from the kick. And once again, 10 meters out from their own line, they'll start this set. Sam Valston, ahoy, mate. How are you today? 9.5 to go till halftime. Tracy heads across field. Dummies. And half a gap is shut down very quickly. They're going to kick on play 3 here. Marnie puts it out on the full. Marnie kicks it out on the full. The idea was right. The execution was poor. And the Raiders will go straight back on the attack. He's overcooked it by about 2 meters. Sam Duckford, ahoy, mate. Can they hold on to the halftime break, the Bulldogs? 8.5 minutes remaining. The Raiders, this attack has just been relentless. They've had almost 70% of possession. Inside the red zone they go once more. Fogarty hands it off to Hosking. Hosking is wrapped up, can't get the offload away, but you could see he was looking for it. This instinct of the Raiders to just offload. Papali'i takes it 5 meters out. 2 tackles left. Fogarty out the back for Young. Hudson Young opens them up. Hudson Young reaches out, but he's just short. Fifth and last. Hudson Young goes half a meter out. Fogarty with the crossfield kick. It's not close enough to the line. And it bounces over the dead ball line. 7 tackle set incoming. Oh, boy. That could have happened any which way. Could have gone very, very south for the Bulldogs. Is now on the back of a 7 tackle set. Can they get some go forward and some momentum? Matt Burton carries it. 45 out. A try before halftime to the Bulldogs would be massive. Hayward out the back to Sexton. Dummies. Takes the line on. 25 out. Hayward again now to Burton. Short pass to Sherry. Sherry almost burst through. Fifth and last. 5 out from the line. They're calling for it on the right. That's where Burton sends it. Sexton with the grubber kick in, but he picks out. He picks out Hudson Young standing on the goal line. Really poor kick. Terrible kick. Terrible 5th tackle option. And the Raiders come up with the error. Crichton on the counter-attack to Carraz. Carraz steps back in field. Offloads for 7M and Jamin Salmon spills it. Jamin Salmon drops it with the line wide open. No advantage for the knock on. They'll come back and it will be Bulldogs ball, but that should have been a 4-pointer. Salmon would have gone in unmarked. Xavier Savage with the dropsies again. Against any other team, the Bulldogs score there. It's the pace of the Raiders backline, the scrambling. Six minutes left until the break. 16 points to 0, but it's the Bulldogs on the attack. They go left for Sherry. Sherry fends. Runs crossfield, back into midfield. Ethan Strange brings him down with the help of Papali'i. 10 meters out, right in front of the posts. Marnie with the crash ball to whoever that was. Hayward to Sexton. Inside ball for Salmon M. Jamin Salmon holds on to it this time, but there's a lot of Raiders jerseys here this time. 6 again for a ruck infringement. Sexton, dummies. Takes the line on and is tackled just to the left of the uprights. And another set restart now. Back-to-back 6 agains. Hayward to Tracy. Tapped on by Crichton to Carraz. Carraz steps back in field. Dummies. Still going Carraz. And he's driven back 10 meters out from the line. In front of the post, Hayward hands it off for Morin. Morin has his pants pulled down. It's a full moon, even though the sun's out. Sexton out the back for Burton, and they swarm him. Matty Burton's brought down 10 meters out on play 3. They're on the left of the Bulldogs, so they bring it back to midfield. Sexton throws the Harbour Bridge ball over for Carraz, scoops it up, and it's a loose pass back in field. The Raiders dive on it, and the Bulldogs have gone and balls this up again.
Gosh.
The defense of the Raiders, the pace to scramble. Other teams wouldn't be able to shut some of these plays down, but it is the pace and aggression of the Raiders' goal line defense. They have scrambled extremely well. Carraz, he had tackles left. He should have just gone to ground there, accepted his fate. And a penalty now to the Raiders. They're going to get another chance before the break. High contact. And they're just slowing the play down here. The Raiders slowing things down. Finding touch. 35 out from the line. Another good kick from Fogarty. Three and a half minutes left until the break. And Mariotta takes the first tip. Can they hold on until the halftime break? Hosking carries it to the 20. It's crucial for the Bulldogs, I think, to hold on here. Hudson Young scores. Well, they haven't held on at all. Hudson Young's just gone straight through. And like that, they've sliced them apart. Easy peasy. 20 points to 0, the kick to come. And this is starting to become embarrassing now for the Bulldogs. This is becoming an embarrassment. Yes, they're under strength. But yes, they still have a good enough team that should be able to beat the Raiders. Hudson Young, one-on-one with Connor Tracy. Puts the fend on and scores it out wide. 20 points to 0, the kick to come. Two minutes to play until the break. Super Saturday triple header. We've got the Dragons Warriors coming up after this, and the Cowboys Panthers to finish the night. Stephen Crichton laying down the law behind the posts. Jamal Fogarty, 2 from 3 today. 2 try assists. Can he put this one over? Fogarty strikes it, hooks it off horribly to the left. And 20 points to 0 it remains. A minute and a half of the opening 40. Jonah, ahoy mate. Who's try scorers for the next game? Or for the next games? I'll be having more of a think about that right before kickoff. I generally don't choose until about 15, 20 minutes before kickoff. Just because you never know what's going to happen in terms of players getting ruled out, injuries in warm-up. We see that sort of thing happen. So I usually wait till the very last moment before I slam on a multi. But Witeni Zelezniak's back today. So DWZ has made me a lot of money over the years in my multis. I may have to put him in. Jonah says definitely going DWZ. There you go. Inside the last minute before the break, and Sebastian Chris carries over halfway for the 5th and last. Fogarty puts it high down the middle. And it's been lost by the Raiders. Xavier Savage spills the ball. But the Bulldogs guilty of just ball watching again there. They could have had another one, the Raiders. 20 seconds left of the first half. And the Bulldogs bunched up in attack. I mean, obviously, they're not going to do too much with 20 minutes left on the clock. Well, maybe they will. Through the hands they go. Stephen Crichton cuts back in field, puts a grubber kick in behind, and it's been lost by the Raiders. And that will take us into the halftime break. 20 points to 0. The Raiders leading at home at the halftime break. The luck's got to run out eventually, right? They had many missed calls in the first half that went their way. Adam G's having a shocker. And it's got to come to an end at some point, right? $20 points to 0 it is at the break, though. Steph V Boy says Bulldogs are no good playing big packs, which also shows their lack of attack when under pressure. Hope they can turn it around. And let's not forget that half their forward pack's out suspended at the moment as well. And they lost Harry Hayes to a HIA. And because it wasn't from an illegal player, they can't replace him. You can't activate the 18th man. So they're going to be down a bench player for the second half, which will make any sort of comeback very, very difficult. Very difficult. So, Witeni Zelezniak is a definite for the next game. Let's see, bring it up here. Warriors, Dragons. Witeni Zelezniak. What about Luke Metcalf? He's having a year as well, isn't he? Lukey Metcalf. What's he done? Luke Metcalf has scored at least one try in each of New Zealand's last 4 matches in Australia. There you go, Luke Metcalf. Valentine Holmes has scored at least one try in 7 of his last 8 appearances against opponents that were ranked in the top 4. What if we did with Tenny Zalesniak, Val Holmes, and Luke Metcalf? 3 legs, $12.40. I mean, that's not bad. I do like a 4-legger, but I'd be happy to go with a 3-legger for this one. Hang on, who else could we put in from the Dragons? Clint Gutherson has scored a try in each of his 4 previous home appearances against New Zealand, but let's be honest, most of those would have been playing for Parramatta. That doesn't really apply to Clint Gutherson as a Dragon, does it? All right, let's have a think about the 4th person. We'll have a think about the 4th person. But at the moment, we've got it 3 with Tenny Zalesniak, Metcalf, and Val Holmes. We've got it down to 3. Molkos 08 says Halasima to score. Every time I put him in, he doesn't score. Otherwise, I love it. I was on Halasima for like 3 weekends straight, I think it was. And he only scored in one of those games. If memory serves me correctly. All right, Waste to World of Sports, halftime here. 20 points to 0 in favor of the Raiders. It's only 3 converted tries. This one is far from over. I mean, we've seen a lot happen this weekend. So I wouldn't be celebrating just yet, because it could lead to a lot of embarrassment at full time. But we'll see. Can the Bulldogs come out in the second half and do, well, anything, really, because they haven't done anything in the first half? We'll find out here on the Waste to World of Sports. I'm going to have a quick break. We'll be back. Second half coming up in this first of 3 games this afternoon. Bring it on.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and tank pass last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the 2 and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll wait the road, from sideline jokes to post-match tales. All big goofs and their big fails. true. Oh, wasted wild of sports. Here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Halftime here. 20 points to nil. Second half to come up. Fred says he's been on fire when close to the line, talking about Halasima we were before the break, and trying to get that fourth man for our four-leg multi. It's one of those things, isn't it? Because when you don't put somebody in the multi, you can almost guarantee that that's when they'll finally strike. Halasima, yeah, so he's gone. Try back-to-back weeks. So then I included him, and he hit, and he hasn't scored now for 2 weeks. Maybe he's due then. Maybe Halasima is due. Interesting. If I add Halasima to make it a four-legger, it's paying $53. Now, that's the type of return I'm talking about. So let's do it. Wateni Zalesniak, Val Holmes, Luke Metcalf, and Halasima. That's kind of relying on a massive win for the Warriors, though. Well, not necessarily. Just because we've only picked one try scorer from the Dragons doesn't mean we're only expecting them to score one try. All right, I like it. $53 is usually the type of odds that I go for. I don't fluff around with small stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. Val Holmes, Wateni Zalesniak, Metcalf, and Halasima. So there we go. Nando says, Storm versus Tigers. Who have you got? I'll tell you what. The Tigers to cover the line is a very exciting proposition. The problem that the Tigers have is they've got to go to Melbourne. Melbourne off the back of a loss. Melbourne will rebound. So $5.10 for the Tigers to win probably seems outrageous. I'm more interested in the line. They've given the Tigers 15.5 head start for $1.90. 15.5 at $1.90. I mean, that's crazy, right? So I would expect the Storm to rebound, especially at home, but by 16 points or more, I don't think so. So Tigers to cover the line at $1.90, I reckon, is a pretty good one to jump on. Jason says, I'm a Tigers fan. Our weak point is Naden's defense. I think he's been okay, hasn't he? Brent Naden, he's been all right. UFC, ahoy, mate. How are you going? Shanna Konda asks if I'm from Pakistan. Clearly, I look very Pakistani. Best of the West says Montoya got robbed last game. I don't remember last game, to be honest. I barely remember yesterday. Oh, that's right. Yesterday, Latrell Mitchell kicked that 48-meter field goal. Whenever the Broncos lose, the rest of Australia wins. So it was a good night for Australia. Robbie O.A. Robbie Oya. Robbie Oa. Ahoy there, Robbie Oa. UFC says, D-Cash, do you think the Goblins can win the whole comp? Their luck's got to run out at some point, UFC. You can't win a competition built on luck. So I don't see them as a threat to the competition, no. Jada Morris. Next game, you've got Wateni Zelezniak, Sloan, Metcalf, and Val Holmes. Very nice. Very close to mine as well. I've got Wateni Zelezniak and Metcalf and Holmes. Instead of Sloan, I've gone for Halasima. I like to have a forward in there. Harp fit. You're a Roosters fan, so you love Latrell, but also kind of hate him. I can understand that. I can completely understand that. You would have been Latrell's biggest supporter for a long time. And then when he decided to leave, it's like, son of a bitch, now I've got to not like you. Teams coming out for the second half. Three legs to go for the multi. It's like I said, isn't it? It's like I said in the pregame. Both of these teams have been giving up over 50% of their tries conceded down their right edge defense. If I've noticed that, you can only imagine what the actual respective coaches have picked up on. So they've gone and tightened it up. And don't be surprised if all the tries get scored down the other edge. And that's pretty much what's happened, isn't it? Hudson Young's the only one who has scored a try on the Raiders' left edge attack. Second half underway, and the Bulldogs get first use of it. Ray, ahoy there. The referee for this game is Adam G. Since the 2023 grand final, I think all the praise might have gone to his head. Adam G was universally praised for his effort in that 2023 grand final. I think it went to his head a little bit because he has been shocking ever since. One of the worst referees. And when you've got Sutton and Klein running around, to be considered one of the worst, you're doing really badly. Connor Tracy up over halfway on the fifth and last. Sweet Pea 458, ahoy there. And Jay Uso, ahoy there. Welcome along as Burton drops it on the fifth and last. Matt Burton doesn't get the kick away, and he has dropped it cold. That is not the start that the Bulldogs needed. Another incomplete set. And here come the Raiders now to put this game to bed. 65% completion rate to the Raiders, 92%. Forget about it. You can't win games of footy at 65% completion rates. I don't care who you're playing. You do not win games of footy at a 65% completion rate. It's not happening. Weeks heads across the field, is tackled 15 metres out. Raiders go to the left. Fogarty shows it inside once. Now gives it off to Mariota Hotels. Fifth and last. Fogarty on the left. Through the hands for Young. That's played up by the Dogs, and this will be 6 more tackles. Too much pace from the Raiders. Ethan Strange gets back there and now returns it to where it was kicked from. The speed of these guys. It's ridiculous. They've all got to be on steroids, right? Performance enhancers. Human beings aren't this quick. Crash ball for Mariota. I shouldn't say things like that on live streams, I suppose. I'm obviously only joking. Nichols, 10 meters out from the line. On play 4, Starling from dummy half. The crash ball for Papali'i. Gets the offload away. Starling puts the grubber kick in behind the line. Mariota dives at the ball. He's claiming the try, but I think he's telling Porkies it's going up as no try. I think he's knocked it on. The Bulldogs might have sent it dead, though. A nice little grubber kick in behind the line from Starling, though. He's done well. He's positioned it well, and it's been lost forward there. Mariota dives for it and loses it. And this will be Bulldogs ball. Telling Porky Pies. He was claiming it too, the cheeky bugger. Bulldogs ball starting from their own 20. DJ Shack says you can't trust prop forwards when it comes to the art of try scoring. And you can't trust them when it comes to captain's challenges. We've found that out quite a few times over the years, haven't we? So a poor start to the second half for the Bulldogs. They've been given a little bit of a reprieve there, though. That could easily have been a try. Up over halfway. A 6 again now. Burton calls for Kickow on the inside. But it is very clunky and very disjointed here. The Bulldogs are missing Josh Curran and Jacob Preston horribly. Horribly missing them. Sexton on the inside ball to Salmon M. And Jamin Salmon is tackled 25 out. Through the hands they go. Left now. Burton shows it. Gets the offload for Sherry. And Bronson Sherry spills it. Montoya picks it up. It's gone backwards, says the referee. So there's one for the Bulldogs. There's a little square up. Hayward in midfield onto Tracy. Numbers to the right. Here goes Crichton. Crichton gets the arms free. Stephen Crichton will score on his own. It is a second tick off the multi. And the Bulldogs finally have struck. 20 points to 4. The kick to come. Is it a game of two halves again? Stephen Crichton. We're halfway through the multi. Bring it on. $20 points to 4. The kick to come from out wide. Leading from the front, Captain Courageous, Stephen Crichton. A tickety-tick off the multi. Halfway there. DJ Shack, I think the more inexplicable thing is the fact that they're up by 20 points to begin with. But, hey, it's all about perspective, isn't it? And we know mine when it comes to the Green Goblins. I loved them for a couple of weeks when they demolished the Broncos, but that love ran out pretty quickly. Stephen Crichton from out wide to convert the try. Smokes it right down the middle. And it is 20 points to 6. Oh, I know UFC. They might not have been your first team, but you've been talking up the Raiders for years. I am aware of this for sure. So even if they weren't your first team, I know that you had a lot of respect for them from the very first time we met. No, this. Ahoy, mate. Raiders with the restart. Try for Stephen Crichton. Converts his own try. And this is huge defense from the restart by the Raiders. Well, DJ Shaq, I thought UFC was a Warriors supporter when he first jumped on the channel. But he's always had a lot of love for the Raiders. Expansive play here on play 2. Kick out. Back to Burton. Keeping the ball alive. Burton has started to get into this game now. That mistake has obviously fired him up. Bronson Sherry carries up to halfway. Jonah, ahoy, mate. Where am I from? I was born in Newcastle, but currently live in Brisbane, Australia. As the Bulldogs now up over halfway. Tracy, inside ball for Crichton. Crichton penetrates again. He's got support outside from Carraz. Inside for Salmon. Jamin Salmon scores. The Bulldogs have gone back to back. It's 20 points to 10. The kick to come, and the game is well back on. Stephen Crichton is standing up and single-handedly dismantling the Raiders. $20 points to 10. Kick to come. It's game back on. Stephen Crichton, the captain, leading from the front. Are we in for another game of two halves? Wow. Stephen Crichton a little closer to the posts on this occasion to bring the Bulldogs within 8. He puts it through. It is 20 points to 12. Here they come. Spirit of Elijah. Ahoy there, mate. Jonah, there's a little bit of rain at the moment. Actually, yeah. I just stepped outside the studio right before. And a little bit of rain. Not heavy, just some showers. But heavy enough to be visible on my windows. Raiders with the restart. The Bulldogs have gone back-to-back to start the second half. Burton takes the kickoff. And they start the set once again from their own 10-meter line. Here's Montoya. Bumps off one. Spins away from another. Montoya, a good, strong carry. You can feel the momentum change in this game. It has just shifted a little bit in favor of the Bulldogs. Quick play the ball. Marnie scoots out a dummy half. Finds some meters. He's up to the 40. Hayward to Tracy. Tracy gets away from the first tackle and he's dumped just inside Raiders territory. Fifth and last, back for Burton in midfield. He puts it high. It's a deep kick. And Savage is under it. Savage gets away from one. He's held up now 10 meters out from his own line. And the Raiders get some possession here in the second half. What can they do with it? The home crowd trying to get a penalty for their side as Tamale is met well. 25 out, or 35 it is, sorry. Away from dummy half, catching them napping is Weeks. The speed of the Raiders obviously is still a serious threat. Sebastian Chris up over halfway, fifth and last. Fogarty on the right-hand side puts it high. Tracy under no pressure at the back takes it. He heads off. On the outside, Tracy slips into contact. And he will play it 15 out from his own try line. Montoya up to the 20. They're getting some good go forward now, the Bulldogs. Sexton out to Crichton. Crichton's in a little bit of open space again. One-on-one with Tamale. He stands him up. Steps back inside Chris. He's got support infield. Infield is Connor Tracy. Connor Tracy scores! Connor Tracy! Has he got the ball down, Connor Tracy? Or is this a try-saving miracle? Ethan Strange had the pace. It's gone up as no try. The Bulldogs will still have the ball, though. Connor Tracy reaches out, puts it down on Ethan Strange's hand, and then he has flipped on his back and held up. Ethan Strange, what a try saver, but the Bulldogs will retain possession. 2 tackles left. They will still have the ball, the Bulldogs, but a try saver from Ethan Strange. That was a fabulous try-saving effort there from Ethan Strange. Credit where credit is due. I can hate a team and still give credit. 5th and last now. The pressure remains. Stephen Crichton has been carving them up here in the second half. They're 10 metres out from the line. Hayward to Burton. Kick out. Gets Montoya on the outside and Montoya scores. It's the 3rd tick of the multi and the Bulldogs are well and truly back. It's 3 ticks off the multi. We just need Sebastian Chris now. 20 points to 16. The kick to come. The Bulldogs. 3 unanswered tries to start the second half. And there is plenty of time to go in this one. There is a long way left to go in this game. "28 minutes left. All I need now is Sebastian Chris. Stephen Crichton has swung this game on its head single-handedly. And suddenly Ricky Stuart is not smiling. Richard Trainer, ahoy mate. DJ Shack says, I can't stop Crichton. Harp Fit says Marcelo Escobar Montoya. I love it. I might have to steal that one. Ford Rawiri smelling the comeback. Stephen Crichton talking himself through this one. About 5 meters in from touch. Strikes it well, hooks it across the face of posts. 20 points to 16 it remains. Jonah, you need Tamale as the last tick off your multi. Freezer says extra time game, question mark. Whoa, maybe. There's a long way to go. There's still a long, long way to go in this game for either side to still run away with it. Back underway. 20 points to 16. Carraz takes the kickoff and hands it off. Is that Harry Hayes who's back on the field? They've lost the ball here. Harry Hayes has knocked it on. And here is the invitation for the Raiders to hit straight back. Play number 1 from the restart. And Harry Hayes, well, he probably shouldn't be back on. He left the field in the first half for a HIA. He got the shoulder of Mariota, I think it was, or Papali'i. One of the big boys anyway. Popped a shoulder to the face. And if he's dropping the ball there like that on play one, maybe he shouldn't have been back on the field. Timoko is driven backwards by Kikau, and Hayes trying to make up for that mistake. Smithies heads across field, 10 meters out. Tarpany can't get the arms free, and they're racing through this set. Starling out the back it goes for Smithies. Fogarty dummies and steps back in field. Hayes is there with Salmon to hold him up. 2 tackles left for the Raiders. Smithies, short ball for Tarpany. Tarpany loses it. Tarpany has spelt it. The Bulldogs get the ball back. Tarpany, of all people, with a huge mistake. And there will be a captain's challenge, it looks like. Oh, no. No time for a captain's challenge. No time for a captain's challenge. It will be a Bulldog scrum. Tarpany with the mistake. Crichton to Tracy. They're having some success attacking this right edge. Tracy goes through. Tracy is brought down. The pace of the Raiders shuts him down. 25 out. Crichton's been caught high there, surely, by Papali'i, and there's the penalty. No penalty given. I heard a whistle. It obviously wasn't the referee. Stephen Crichton gets up shaking his head. He can't believe it. They've got away with one there, the Raiders. Hayward out the back for Burton. Kickout charges onto it. He's got Sherry running at pace. And Sherry has dumped on his back just short of halfway. Hayward just shuffles it on there for Hopboy. 5th and last. Down the short side, Burton waits. Skies it high. Oh, that's a monstrous kick from Burton. Close to the sidelines, and it's taken by Weeks. Weeks is wrapped up by Montoya and driven close to the sideline. Fantastic effort there by KO Sports Weeks to stay in the field of play. But look at this aggressive defense from the Bulldogs. And now the Raiders are trying to milk a penalty. Xavier Savage. Savage has got his milk on. I realise they're sponsored by Canberra Milk, but a little Milky Magoo. Well, he has copped a shoulder to the face there, to be fair. They play the ball here on tackle 2. Timoko brings it out to the 20. And now beyond. Backing into the defense there is Tamale, I believe it is. Tackle 4, 30 meters out. Still in the lead, though, is the offload for Morgan Smithies. 5th and last, still inside their own half. Fogarty needs a big kick here. Sends it downfield. Oh, it's a monster by Fogarty. Tracy will take it a couple of meters out from his line. Dummies the pass across the face of posts. And the Bulldogs. Perez offloads. Back for Burton. Fires it out for Crichton. Crichton bends the line but can't get through on this occasion. Perez spins away from the contact. Offloads for Marnie. Marnie fires it across to Sherry. Sherry with the goose step. Breaks straight through. Bronson Sherry needs support. He's got nobody with him. And he's brought down from behind by Xavier Savage. Oh, they're tearing them to shreds now, the Bulldogs. Sexton in midfield. Short ball to Hayes. Hayes angles back inside. And he's brought down 10 out from the line. They bring it left. Sexton's got the player on the inside again. Max King scores untouched. The Bulldogs are about to take the lead. The Bulldogs are about to take the lead. 20 points apiece. Kick to come. Max King with the try. They have started ripping them to shreds out wide. What are they offering me as a cash out? $33. They're having a laugh, aren't they? A $33 cash out offer. Well, I mean, it is only a $10 bonus bet, I know, but still, $33. Well, let it ride. Let it ride. Uso, Alex Custom. Yes. We'll be doing all games today. Dragons, Warriors coming up next. Cowboys, Panthers coming up later tonight. Maxi King with the try. $20 points apiece. Kick to come from right beside the post. It's been another game of two halves. Rocky 11333 says, let it ride. We will let it ride. Sebastian Chris will surely the Raiders will get at least one more try in this game, right? As Crichton converts from right beside the post and the Bulldogs lead. Can you believe it? The Bulldogs lead 22 points to 20. Maxi King diving over. Uso fix. Let's go, doggies. $22 points to 20. The Bulldogs find themselves in the lead for the first time tonight. Burton takes the kickoff. And the Bulldogs rumble it up now. Curtis Moran. Aaron William Lynch says, go Bulldogs. Brian To'o back tonight for the Panthers. Of course, that's a huge in. Hayward receives the offload, gives it out to Kickow. Kickow steps inside one, and he's brought down 20 meters out. Quick play the ball. Burton scoots out a dummy half. Brings it up to the 30. 6 line breaks for the Bulldogs in the second half. The try scorer King bumps away from one. And that's tackle 4 on their own 40. Hayward, dummies. Takes it up to halfway. Still in midfield. 5th and last. Burton has it on halfway. Skies it straight down the middle. The Bulldogs chase. Savage takes it and surrenders in the tackle. That's what they need to do to this Raiders backline. Pepper them with high balls and chase up on them. Reese, you need Sebastian Chris. So do I, mate. So do I. Wayne Stretch, we're on the Captain Morgans today. I can't do beer 2 days in a row. For some reason, it just doesn't sit well with me. So I have to switch between the beer and the captains. 5th and last for the Raiders. On halfway, Fogarty puts it high into the corner. Tracy backs up for it. Tracy takes it 5 out from his own line. Fires it across into midfield for Carraz. Carraz fends away from Hudson Young. But he's wrapped up now. 15 out from the line. Offloads to Burton, but he's already been called held. 19 minutes left to play. Bulldogs ball. 20 out from their own line. Montoya tries to crawl an extra few meters. Here's Bronson Sherry now. Jonah, you're on the Carlton Dry's lower carb. I'll tell you what, Jonah, because I've got an empty sitting here. Have you ever heard of this? Better beer. 0 carbs. 87 calories a can. It's probably one of the nicest low-carb beers I've ever had. 5th and last, Burton kicks from well inside the 40. Savage takes it, and now they've got some space to work with, the Raiders backline. Weeks into contact. Good, strong carry from KO Weeks. And he is tackled 30 meters out from his own line. Down the short side goes Ethan Strange. Up to the 40. This is the Raiders' best field position in a while. The flick pass has created some space now, and it's been lost by Xavier Savage. Knocked on. Xavier Savage is goofed up again.
Gosh.
Xavier Savage is having a nightmare of a second half. He's got the dropsies. Bulldogs up 22 points to 20. Will have the ball 40 meters out from the try line. 17 and a half minutes to play. Sexton feeds it. Marnie breaks away to the right. Here's Connor Tracy. Tracy steps, bumps off the tackle of Hudson Young. Boy, Hudson Young's been bumped off a lot of tackles tonight. I wonder if he's 100%. Hudson Young, big bollocking forward. He's getting bumped off by outside backs. Kikau runs the inside line. 20 meters out from the line, the Bulldogs. Marnie sends it right for Hayward. Sexton to Semin, and Jamin Semin tackled 15 out on play 4. Marnie dummies the blind side. They bring it back left to the open side. Max King tackled 10 meters out. Fifth and last here for the Doggies. Hayward to Burton. Burton juggles the ball, gives it out to Kikau. Viliami Kikau fends off to score. Viliami Kikau makes it 26-20, the kick to come, and they are just tearing them to shreds. It is the left edge attack again. As I said in the pregame, over 50% of tries by both of these teams conceded by their right edge defense, and the Bulldogs have just gone straight through. Kickout slices them apart. That right edge defense of the Raiders found wanting once more. That 50% is going to be even larger after this game. 26-20, Viliami Kikau scores. The Bulldogs, what a second half it's been. Unbelievable. Wow, the Doggies. With 15 minutes to play, Stephen Crichton, a conversion attempt to give them an 8-point lead. This is a huge conversion attempt from right on the sideline on the left-hand edge. Stephen Crichton, this is a big, big kick. He's hooking it around. He's hooking it back. It's right down the middle. Stephen Crichton misses it. It doesn't have the distance. 26-20 it remains, and we know that the Raiders are still well in this game. Just didn't have the proper angle on it there, Stephen Crichton, and it falls just short. It was a monstrous effort, though, from out wide. 15 minutes to play. We know that the Raiders can turn this around right down to the 80th minute. So 6 points is not enough for the Bulldogs. They definitely need more. 5 unanswered tries in the second half. Here goes Kikau now. Down the short side. Up to the 30. Montoya now in midfield. Bumps off one. Offloads. Sexton is wrapped up by Starling. 1-on-1. Staying on the right-hand edge. King Spins in contact, but he's brought down. Tackle 4, 45 out. Frick Cheese says, I've noticed teams come out firing in the first half and switch off in the second as Burton almost goes straight through. Very well noticed, Frick Cheese. Fifth and last, Sexton on halfway. Puts it high. It's going to be taken by Weeks. 10 metres out from his own line. And he's held up and driven backwards in the tackle now. They're still going. And he goes to ground 2 metres out from his own line. That's huge Bulldogs defence. They are determined to not let this one slip. Downshift, oi mate. Says, please boys. Raiders, come on. A big run there from Ethan Strange. No sin bins in this one, Joshua, surprisingly. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. We might have just jinxed it by even asking the question. But no, not yet. 40 out from their own line now. Fifth and last, the Raiders. It's going to need a big kick here from Fogarty. It's low and flat, and it's angled well. And he just misses out on a 40-20, but this might have been touched by Montoya. This might have been touched by Montoya. Canberra are going to captain's challenge. Montoya did reach a hand up at it because it looked like Fogarty had pulled off a 40-20. And the Raiders have gone straight to the captain's challenge. Fogarty looking for the 40-20. Montoya does reach up at it for some reason. And it's gone straight over his head and finds touch just outside the 20. Fogarty has missed a 40-20 here by about 5 centimetres. Fogarty has missed a 40-20 by about 5 centimetres here. And the Raiders have now lost their captain's challenge. Jamin Salmon is off the field. Jamin Salmon is off the field. He's being assisted by 2 trainers. Salmon M is out for the rest of the game. Me, thank you very much for the rose over there on TikTok. Cheers. Very much appreciate that. Tamale is still on. Lewis, yes, I'm pretty sure. We just haven't seen much of him at the moment because the Raiders haven't had the ball. The second half has been all Bulldogs, but I'm pretty sure he is still out there, Tamale. Here's Kickout now on play 4, just short of halfway. What a turnaround this has been for the Dogs, but the job not done yet. Hayward to Sexton. That's off Ethan Strange. And it sits up for Crichton at the back. And Crichton is very confident that that's off Ethan Strange. And he was happy to just stand back and let that one play out. Bulldogs here. It's effectively a set restart. They'll get the scrum on halfway. 12 minutes left to play. Or just short of halfway it is anyway. 45 out from their own line. And here they go, the Bulldogs. From the scrum. They bring it to the left. And now up the center, Montoya. Marcelo Escobar Montoya. Hayward. On to Morin. Morin looks to offload. Will they be thinking drop goal here? Is it too early to think drop goal? Sexton with the inside ball for Hayes. Hayes takes the tackle. 35 out. Hayward to Sexton. Dummies. Fends off the first tackle and he's caught here. 5th and last. Marnie sends it to Burton on the left. Burton puts it high in the middle of the field. Bulldogs chase through. Weeks loses it. KO Weeks comes up with the error. And the Bulldogs will get a repeat set. KO Weeks with the spilt ball. The Bulldogs. Are they thinking drop goal or are they thinking a little bit more? With 10 minutes to play and a full set of 6, 10 meters out from the line, a scrum no less, they're probably thinking a bit more at this point in time. Marnie sends it left. Here's Bronson Sherry. Bronson Sherry with the in and away. And he's brought down 5 meters out. Tracy at first receiver, lined up to the right, but they will settle for the ball in midfield. They might be thinking drop goal here. Max King sets it up, 15 out right in front. Now Sexton with the inside ball for Hayes. Hayes stands in the tackle. They're not really doing anything expansive here, the Dogs, is why I'm starting to think they might be thinking the one-pointer. They're a little too close to the line now, though. Touched by the Raiders. Savage with the toe through. And it sits up for Reed Marnie, but they'll come back for the knock-on. And another set of 6 for the Bulldogs. 9.5 to play. Are they thinking drop goal? Should they be thinking drop goal? We just need Sebastian Chris for our same game multi. 9 minutes to play, 6 points will not be enough for the Bulldogs. We know what the Raiders are capable of. We know the sort of luck that they get. Burton with the short ball for Crichton. Crichton, he deserves a double. He's played so well here today. 5 meters out from the line. The Bulldogs back into midfield. King. Maxi King there. Stands in the tackle. Sexton inside for kick-out. I think they're setting up the drop goal here. They're a little close to the line, though. They're only 5 meters out. They're way too close here to pull the trigger. Marnie sends it out for Hayward. Hayward onto Sexton. They're going wide to the right. Crichton with the pass to Carraz. Carraz gets the fend on. Carraz for the corner. Steps back in field. And Jacob Carraz, has he got it down? Jacob Carraz has scored the try. He's hurt himself in the process. But Jacob Carraz has surely now just scored the match winner. There's still 8 minutes to go. And this becomes a huge conversion now for Crichton. Jacob Carraz. A nice flick on by Stephen Crichton. And Carraz, if he has grounded this, that should be the ball game. Let's see if he gets it down. He does. Slams it down. Jacob Carraz. Heart Ticker says, what a comeback. I guess you could say, Heart Ticker, that the Bulldogs showed a lot of heart today. Down and out at halftime. 30 unanswered points in the second half. Seven minutes still left to play. We know what the Raiders are capable of. All it takes is one bounce of the ball. Carraz is up and about again, by the way. He stayed down hurt after the try, but he is now up and about. Stephen Crichton from out wide again, but it's his favoured side on this occasion. About 10 metres in from touch. Stephen Crichton ices it, and it's 32 points to 20. It's 2 converted tries. They've got themselves a little protection now, the Bulldogs. 2 converted tries to send it to golden point. 6 minutes 40 to go. Jonah says cash out now. Well, the problem now, Jonah, is there's only 6 minutes 40 left. So the cash out is now $7.32. Raiders go short with the restart. Savage bats it back, but Bailey Hayward has positioned himself perfectly to collect the back. And it's the Bulldogs' ball. Bronson Sherry. 40 meters out from their own line. 6.5 to play. Hey, the Raiders could still get a consolation try here. And it could very well be Sebastian Chris. And it was only $10 bonus bet, so I'm not that concerned about it. Sexton heads back into midfield, takes the line on. 5th and last. Are they thinking drop goal now? Burton. No, he just dinks it in over the top. The Bulldogs pour through and put pressure on Savage. Kickout lines him up and thumps him. Savage gets a quick play the ball away. Bulldogs have done extremely well in this second half. 5.5 minutes. They can't close off here. They've got to stay committed to defense. We know what the Raiders are capable of. They can steal victories. Fogarty sends it on for Strange. Hudson Young fends off the first tackle. They come back at him and they swamp him. 4 Bulldogs there to bring him down. 5th and last. They're only 30 out from their own line. Fogarty puts a monstrous kick downfield. Taken by Connor Tracy at the back. Tracy dummies and steams into the line. 40 out from their own line now. The Bulldogs have this game surely firmly in control. You can't sleep on a lucky team that has the pace that the Raiders have. They could easily go back to back with a cheeky little bounce of the ball in their favor. Down the short side, Max King. Tackle 4. 35 out. Hayward in midfield, out to Burton heads across field. Shows it inside for Kickow. And he's brought down on the 5th and last. 25 out. Sexton in midfield. No thought of a drop goal. They just put it high and they keep Weeks pinned down. Kickow with the chase. 4 minutes to play and the Raiders will start this set 5 out from their own try line. And big defense here, driving Savage back towards the goal line. He's a meter short. And he's lost it too. Xavier Savage has lost it. And now Savage is getting filthy about it. There could be more points here for the Bulldogs. Lee Chad says, so far this weekend has been the weekend of comebacks. 110%, Lee Chad. Ads Gains says Raiders didn't get their own way, unlike last week, and see what happened. I'll drink to that, Ads. Three minutes to play. Scrum down. Bulldogs. 10 out from the line. They go right. Connor Tracy. Penalty. The Raiders are offside at the scrum. Oh, they'll take the 2 here, surely. Take the 2. Right out in front. Get an extra 2 points. Wind the clock down. Why not? They're going to take the scrum again. Savage with 6 errors, having a terrible game. I'm pretty sure they've all been in the second half as well, Heart Ticker. Xavier Savage has had a shocker of a second half. But what's happened, in fairness, is the Bulldogs have just put him under immense pressure. And he's been found out. They've peppered him with high balls. They've peppered him with Viliami Kickow. And they've forced the mistakes out of him. Tracy puts the grubber kick through. It sits up for Crichton. Crichton offloads. Back for Marnie, but it's a knock-on against the Bulldogs. No, it's a penalty to the Bulldogs. The Raiders offside again. Oh, penalty to the Raiders for an offside against Stephen Crichton. Okay, Adam G had his arm out the way of the Bulldogs. That's why I was so confused. And Stephen Crichton there, just a step offside. So this will be a penalty to the Raiders. 2 minutes left to play. And we are now hoping for a Sebastian Chris consolation try for the Raiders. They'll have one set of 6. Finding touch, 35 out from their own line. Sebastian Chris for a consolation try and to win the multi. Hosking. Tackled on play 1 here. Just short of the 40. Fogarty out the back for Weeks. Weeks can't get away from the defense. Bronson Sherry wraps him up. It's been a fantastic second half here for the Bulldogs. Tarpany can't get the ball free. Up over halfway to Nichols there. Matty Nichols, he's hurt his ankle here. Matty Nichols clutching at his ankle. And they won't want to lose him, the Raiders. Hosking now to Fogarty. Short ball for Hudson Young. Hudson Young's been well contained in this second half. 5th and last, this is it. Sebastian Chris is over on the wrong side as Fogarty kicks to the right edge for Xavier Savage. But it's Marcelo Escobar Montoya who takes the ball 10 meters out from his own line. The Bulldogs can just wind down the clock now. 32 points to 20, and Matty Nicholson limps off the field. And that will be a huge out for the Raiders, should that injury be multiple weeks. 25 seconds to go. 20 points to 0 at halftime it was. 20 points to 0 in favor of the Raiders at halftime. And the Bulldogs have won this game 32 points to 20. With one of the best second halves of footy you'll ever hope to see. Matt Burton surrenders in the tackle. 32 points to 20. The Bulldogs, what a comeback. The comeback of all comebacks. On the back of their captain, Stephen Crichton, who was immaculate once again. Man of the match for sure. Stephen Crichton is my man of the match. Took the team on his back and led the way in that second half when all looked lost at halftime. They looked like absolute rabble in that first half. And then Stephen Crichton just said, "Follow me," and led his team to victory. The weekend of the comeback. The Bulldogs now stretch their lead on top of the table. And they've still got a bye to come as well, the Raiders. So all is not lost for them. They're effectively on 16 points. The Raiders, and there's no embarrassment in that at all. Nobody had them in the top 4, let alone the top 8. So to be second on the ladder effectively, 10 rounds in, almost halfway through the competition, I mean, that's an incredible effort. Coming up next, as Super Saturday will continue, Dragons versus the Warriors. I do not think the Warriors will have it all their own way. The Dragons at home are going to be a very different beast. I think it'll be a close one. It'll be 1-12, either team. I'm backing the Warriors, though, to get the job done. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Dragons pip the victory. We'll find out very, very soon. I'm going to have myself a little break and get myself ready for that game. We'll be back live in about 20 minutes' time. Dragons, Warriors coming up as Super Saturday continues. Thank you so much for your company here for this one. Another immense comeback that we've seen this weekend. Stephen Crichton, player of the match for sure. What an effort from the Bulldogs. 32-20 after being down 20 points to 0 at halftime. Wasted World of Sports live every weekend. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook. Thank you so much for being with us, and I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Dragons, Warriors coming up. I'll catch you then. Cheers.
Welcome to the wasted world of sports,
Wasted world of sports, eh?
where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts.
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and tank pads last from the kickoff to the final whistle blow. We'll take the two and we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we bring out our best. No serious analysis, no expert critiques, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. We'll wave the roll, from sideline jokes to post-match tales. All big goofs and their big fails. We're not so serious, and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our skies. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporting crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Oh, wasted world of sports, here's to our cheer. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.